On this episode, join Andy, John, Jamie Coy, and Evil Andy as they discuss Ohio Wrestling Alliance Fight for the Dream. Welcome to the road home from wrestling.
Here in my car, I feel safest of all. I can lock all my doors, and it's the only way live in cars.
Alright, well, we're sort of not really headed home from another week at Ohio Wrestling Alliance. My name's Andy, coming to you live to tape from the road home from Wrestling World Mobile headquarters of the world. And I got John in the front seat. What up, John?
Not much, guys. I have Bradley Prescott IV sitting on my lap, and I am here for this episode.
Wow. You mean like the actual BP4?
No, his battle buddy.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, well, now I recognize the battle buddy.
Yeah.
I was like, it was a little weirded out there.
I wouldn't mind if it was him. It would be uncomfortable. It would be very tight in here. But
I mean, it kind of already is, right? I mean,
what? Why?
Well, it's not just me and you. It's not just me and you. It's also, we have one of the greatest, just the greatest wrestling fans of all time. He suffers no foolishness. It's Jamie Coy. What's up, Jamie?
Oh, not much, man. How you doing?
I'm great. You're making your debut on the Road Home from Wrestling podcast.
You know, for a while I thought I felt like the mythical character, like a Maris on a Frasier show, like a character that's not really on the show.
Okay.
But I'm finally here. I am real.
Yeah, you're real.
Yes.
I mean, and not only are you real, but also your friend, is it Carney Andy, Evil Andy, Raffle Andy? I mean, the other Andys in the backseat. What up, Andy?
All monikers are valid.
That's awesome. That's
Glad
awesome.
to be here.
Well, you guys have been at all of the Unsanctioned Pro shows with us, and it's a tradition for us to sit near you. In fact, so much so that John was ready to fight somebody today if we weren't going to sit by you. Why, John? What's the big deal?
So I made threatening tweets earlier this week because originally we just had general admission tickets for the OWA show. And then they changed venues, which we'll get into that. And so I made a threat that said, if I do not sit next to Jamie Coy and Andy at the show, I will grab the chairs and start hitting people in the face until I am sitting next to Jamie Coy.
I don't know
Because
how that's going to work. But
that's how much I enjoy now the company of Jamie Coy at these UP shows.
It's a lot of fun, right?
It's not a UP show unless I'm sitting near him.
I'm a draw.
Well, it's true. And, it's the
For
other
sure.
thing, too, is I really enjoy folks that laugh at my jokes and make jokes that I laugh at. So that's you guys. So I appreciate you, We love you. So now, John, we were up here for this Ohio Wrestling Alliance. This is their second show. It's called Fight for the Dream. But break down for us a little bit. Where the fuck are we? What's going on here?
So originally we were supposed to be at the Big Bar in downtown Columbus, but due to some managerial changes, we had to move to a like a farm show-off barn.
It's not a barn, though, because it has
It's
a
not a
ceiling.
barn.
Barns don't really
It
have
has a
ceilings.
ceiling. Most barns have ceiling. They just don't have insulation, which this one also doesn't have insulation, but it has a heater.
It does have heat. Yeah,
Everyone needs a
very
heater.
important.
Thanks, Dean.
Jamie, how cold is it outside today?
It's ridiculously cold.
It feels twice as cold as it normally would, too, because yesterday it was, hot. You know what I mean? Yesterday
Right.
it was, warm, and now it's fucking freezing. It's
And
unbelievable.
we are on the Franklin County Fairgrounds, which is the fairgrounds, so it's wide open, and the wind is just whipping through here. It's very cold.
According to my watch, it is 15 degrees outside.
Oh, my God. That's fucking bullshit. Now, Evil Andy, you and Jamie, were you guys at the first Ohio Wrestling Alliance show?
Andy was not,
Aw.
but I was.
Okay, all right, well, trying to help you get your shit in back there, but,
I was at the Big Bar show, and then, so this was different, coming to the new venue at the last minute, and there's a couple things right off the bat I liked better.
Okay.
You want to get into it now?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so at the Big Bar place, it is essentially just a club. That's above the Newport Music Hall right across campus.
It's smaller, right?
Oh, it's very much
Very tight,
small.
right? Yeah,
real
okay.
tight. But along with the place, apparently it was just part of the thing with them renting it, is they had to use the house DJ, essentially,
Oh, God.
for the ring announcer.
Yeah.
So it would sound like, coming down to the ring, Lexus Montez. You didn't know if it was a stripper coming out and I should have ones ready, or if it was a wrestler. And, I mean, the dude totally sounded like a strip club guy.
Okay.
So, but here we had two legit
To quit?
to quit,
Okay.
but they did not quit. Two
Well, they kind of
two
did at the
actual
end.
ring announcers.
These guys are great,
These
man.
guys are great.
I don't know who the fuck they are, but they did a great job.
No clue who they were.
Now, Evil Andy, do you have an impersonation of a stripper announcer?
Do I have an impersonation of a stripper announcer coming to the ring right now? It's Sexy Susie. I mean, some other guy.
So, and the song you're looking for, John, is "She's My Cherry Pie." Right? That's what we got here. She's just cherry pie, right? So.
Yeah, I was doing more of like a burlesque song.
Yeah, that's a little more classy than a strip club, especially around here. So, anyway, well, we are in the sticks of Ohio, and that's okay. I am really impressed because this building, we were worried. We were like, okay, well, it's a fucking barn. I do like barn wrestling so much that I even name episodes barn wrestling when we get to go see wrestling in a barn. But I was thinking to myself, this can't be as good as the bar. However, I think this place, I don't know, I didn't go to the bar the first time, but I think this place is great. If they continue to have shows here, I'd be fucking happy. There's plenty of room. If this is the venue that they pulled out of their ass, great job, right?
Yeah, I really like the place.
Definitely.
Andy, what'd you think?
I think it's great. I had heard some rumblings about issues with Big Bar and a change of ownership and possible lawsuits, but and for a moment I was like, oh my god, I hope the show doesn't tank. I hope they can still do it, and I had faith, and here we are. So.
Well, isn't it scary when stuff like that comes up with independent wrestling? Just because, unsanctioned pro especially, and we're talking about UWA or OWA as well, but it's kind of like capturing this real magical thing that's happening right now, and it's a very fragile thing, right? Me and Jamie have experienced this fragility and how it can break, very easily sometimes. And so, when you hear about these kinds of problems, it's terrifying to me personally, because I'm like, oh man, I really love that place. I hope shit doesn't go wrong, because it's a fragile thing, right, Jamie?
Most definitely, something can be as hot as it could possibly be. It can go away just like that.
Remember Blackcraft?
Disappeared off the face of the
What
earth.
happened there? You know
I have no
what I mean?
idea. One bad show that ran long, and that was the end of them.
Yeah,
Never...
they also had some lawsuit stuff.
Yeah,
But
well,
anyway.
They probably had Christians praying against it.
Oh, is that what it was?
That's what
Yeah.
God did it.
Every time.
Fucking God! Son of a bitch.
Amen, brother.
All right, so John, set this up for us. Tell us, the venue, like I said, just giant rectangular room. They had a very professional entrance curtain as well. It's the most professional entrance curtain we've ever had at a UP show, and that's awesome. So, or OWA, whatever. I'm sorry, we're gonna get that mixed up a million times. So today was OWA, Fight for the Dream. Set it up for us, John. Tell us about the first match here.
So our opening contest was our former owner and boss of the Road Home from Wrestling,
Two-time.
Lexus Montez, going against Austin Mannix.
That's right. Now, these are two guys that are just kind of like beat the shit out of each other type dudes, Lexus is more of a, Muay Thai type dude, obviously, but Austin Mannix has kind of come along. I hate to say this, I don't mean to be an asshole or anything, but since the dirty is not a thing anymore, Austin Mannix is kind of like risen, since then, right?
Yeah.
He had that big Best Out of 7 series with Crew at Rockstar Pro, and he's starting to get bookings all over. He's a terrifying looking dude, and he's a scary guy. I don't know, and I was worried for Lexus because, Austin Mannix comes out with a fucking kendo stick. He's ready to roll, huh?
He was ready to beat some ass.
All right. Andy, what'd you think about this match, and what do you think about these guys?
I enjoyed it. Guy was working pretty hard. He got really red in the face towards the end there. So, but yeah, it was a good match. I was kind of like thinking about myself and like blood pressure problems and things of that nature. And I'm like, this guy needs a cold compress. But yeah, it was a great match. It was definitely a good match to open the event.
John,
and I'm glad he didn't stroke out. So.
Fair enough. Tell us a little bit about this thing.
So during Lexus's entrance, he is just a friendly guy, and he wants to hug everyone in the crowd. And he sees a fan that he sees everywhere, Miss Karen Oldendick, and he immediately runs over and he tries to give her a hug, and she literally yells at him, "Don't hug me!
Don't touch me!
Don't touch me!
Yeah.
Get off of me!"
Yeah, well, she kind of threw a little fit there, Did you guys see that?
Yeah, it was
She
pretty
was-
great.
What's her fucking problem?
Well, the problem is that Austin Mannix, I guess, is her son.
Yeah, she's the mom.
And so
right?
she just wants to defend him, and if someone's going against him, she has a problem.
How can you be mama dirty when the dirty isn't a thing anymore?
Well,
Maybe it's just.
I guess she doesn't wash underneath her arms. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, we had a fast start here, right, with Lexus slapping the shit out of Mannix, and Austin responding by chopping Lexus in multiple corners of the ring.
Yeah.
Jamie, tell me about this ring a little bit.
The ring might be the best indie wrestling ring I've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, sturdy. The ropes were great. It was purple. I've never seen a purple ring apron and any purple ring ropes that I can recall before.
Well, you've seen it on 205 Live.
I don't watch 205.
You're disrespectful. 205 Live has good wrestling on it.
It does.
I don't even have the WWE network. Why would I?
Oh my gosh.
But anyway,
I thought you were a mark.
great wrestling ring. But I think the one thing you're overlooking here, this was a no time limit match.
That's right. That's right.
That's
Thank you.
true. So we could have just, like the rest of the show, could have just been this.
I thought this was going to be 90 minutes Flair Wyndham all over again.
And you had some advice for the wrestlers, didn't you? Do you remember what you told them?
And we're going 60?
No, you said you guys pace yourself. There's no time limit. You were
fellas,
letting them know.
Because they started out quick. Like the first 5 minutes, it was nonstop. There was no resting. And it's like, fellas, you better pace yourself. We got all night.
This
The
one,
redness.
like, shit in general on this show was high-paced. You know, very fast-paced, high work rate. That's kind of every match, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little more about this, John.
So Lexus tries to dive onto Austin on the outside, but he catches a right hook. They immediately work their way towards us, where Lexus takes a seat on Andy's lap.
Yeah.
But that was short-lived because then Mannix boots Lexus off of your lap.
Kind of more into me. You know what I mean? He almost entered me from the front, which
Whoa.
is weird, you know?
Yeah, it was
that's a whole
weird.
other front-facing Pearl Harbor, you know?
Yeah.
So
That
would
would've been quite the
strange,
surprise.
Man. I don't know, you know? But yeah, you know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And then he backdrops Lexus onto the apron. They get back in the ring. Mannix teabags Lexus in the neck.
Do you guys think that when you see that move, or the move where they teabag the guy's back and the guy's selling his back, do you think that's because they just have brass balls? I mean, what do you think, Andy?
Oh, wow. I try not to think about it.
These are the things I'm thinking about when I'm watching a match. Like, you know, why does it hurt? I mean, like, to me that would just be awkward. And, I mean, maybe I'd sell my back, you know, if it was that awkward.
But that would also, I feel like, so like when my balls get, you know, any kind of like touching or hitting, like they get really sensitive and they hurt.
Yeah.
So I would think if I'm like teabagging someone at a like high velocity, fast pace, that would also cause my balls to hurt a little bit.
Yeah. It's like high risk, high reward, I guess.
Yeah. Because typically the teabagging is just like dipping, and this one's like a swinging.
What else happened in this joint?
So Lexus takes control. He hits him with a tang, which is the running knee to the face. Then he hits a tornado DDT / neck breaker. I don't know, it looked painful.
Yeah, it was weird. It had like a weird setup, and the way they both bumped was kind of different than when you'd see in normal neck breakers.
Yeah. Then Mannix hits a sit-out choke slam powerbomb variation.
Okay, I want to hear from you guys in the back. How many moves did you see tonight that you've never seen before?
There was quite a few.
There's a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in one match in particular, there was a ton of moves I'd never seen before. But there was a couple moves in this match. I mean, almost every match had moves. I was like, what the fuck you call that? I don't know. And John's like, oh, you know all the moves, Andy. And I'm like, I don't know shit.
Yeah, there were multiple times I leaned over and was like, Andy, what was that? What was that? I don't know. What was that? I don't know. You just know the Japanese moves.
Yeah, I do. I know the Japanese moves. I love the Japanese wrestling.
Okay.
It's the best. That's the best wrestling.
Well, we're in America.
Tell you what.
So Lexus hits a like a variant of the GTS. Instead of like a knee to the face, he drops down and hits a double knee to the chest. Hits a sliced bread number 2.
Superposition.
A superposition. But Mannix puts his foot on the bottom rope once, and then it like slips off, and then he puts it back up, and then the ref sees it the second time and calls for a rope break.
This ref. Come on, man. Come on, ref. What are we doing? You know? I mean, finally, later on, we get Sean and Max in there. They know what the fuck they're doing. This other ref. Come on, man.
Yeah, this was a 3-ref show.
It was.
It was.
A 3-ref show!
Which honestly is very rare for like a lot of indie shows.
It's true, yeah. We don't see that very often. Although sometimes we go to an indie show and there's an army of refs. It does happen, you know. I like
Yeah.
that. I think that's funny because then
Or
when
there's just one.
I love when there's an army of refs and like there's a bad like a heel going crazy.
Oh my God, there's Levi.
Oh, Levi's here.
He looks like a little
Oh my God! We just saw Levi Everett, and I think he's got a bin full of fucking birdhouses, and I'm gonna buy one.
Now
So-
I can afford one.
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
yeah. Well, don't tease it. You know, we'll get there. So, anyway, where were we here, John? Give me back.
We are at the finish. Austin Mannix hits a swinging facebuster for the win, and he picks up a big victory here at OWA.
Andy, what you think about this? Is this a good hot opener for you?
I thought it was a great match.
Yeah.
Great match.
Did you wish that Lexa sat on your lap?
I was okay with that. That was okay because my testicles couldn't take that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he missed. He missed my testicles.
Did he?
Thank God.
That's
He's
very
done it.
ungentlemanly.
Well, he's done it in the past. Well, see, the thing is that, I mean, that goes back to that whole teabagging thing. There's a joke in there somewhere. But, you know, usually he does nail me right in the testicles sometimes when he does that lap thing. And one time I had the whole Lost Boys sitting on my lap, and my testicles were not happy about that.
Well, and it also occurs to me, too, that if you're using your testicles as a weapon, should you still just call it a teabagging? I mean, there's got to be another term, right?
Yeah, so what would we call that?
I don't know. Wrecking balls? I don't know. There's got to be something else.
I like wrecking balls. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
because that's gonna say like a sack slap.
Sack slap sounds like something that happens to you. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't that happens. You know, usually
Jamie,
to
you got a
somebody.
good nut move?
No, I'm not going to beat that.
Sex.
How about nut move? I kind of like that, but that's something different. You know, that's like a final move in a different kind of situation. But go ahead. What was the next match there?
So the next match was Trey Lamar with PB Smooth going against the swollest man in the room, Clayton Gaines.
Boo.
Ooh.
Boo.
What?
Yes, boo.
He's too swole to control.
He grabs the mic and he's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm cool. Look at me. I don't like Ohio sports. I'm from Ohio, but I don't like Ohio. I'll tell you what.
Well, listen, I agree with him on that. So I went to UC, the University of Cincinnati, one of the best colleges in the state, and OSU can suck my dick.
Oh, my God.
I hate Ohio State.
You know, I don't know what to say.
And so
about that.
Clayton is getting out there, down in OSU, and I'm like, I'm here for it. But then he says that OWA is the trashiest, worst place he's ever worked
He
before.
pointed at a very nice-looking young lady who probably smells wonderful and said that she smelled like piss and vinegar. Specifically her.
Very, very, yeah. He wanted to point that out more than once he did,
Why?
actually.
It's like a fetish.
I think he was trying to get over with her. I think that's what's going on, you know?
Girls love a
They
bad
call
boy
that,
who picks on them.
That's true.
They call it, what, negging? You
Something.
make fun of the girl until, like, she ends up liking you is, like, the theory behind it.
Yeah, I was offended when he made a comment about fat chicks because I happen to like them. So I didn't catch the whole piss and vinegar thing because that means you're ready to go and you're sowing
That's
your oats
true.
and so it was wrong wording on his part. If she smelled like urine and vinegar, say something clever.
Yeah, well, maybe she's got some moxie, if she's full of piss and vinegar.
That's-
And, I mean, I personally don't usually drink vinegar and, piss at the same time.
I
But
like
you know
them
what?
separately.
Yeah, I use the vinegar as a chaser for the piss, so, that's the way I roll.
Yeah.
Lowers
So,
your blood sugar in case
I
it's a
have I'm the
diabetic girl.
opposite way.
Oh, you go the other way with it?
Piss, yeah.
well, Clayton likes to mix it up and spray it all over people, I guess. I don't know. So, John, tell me what happened in this match here.
So immediately, right out the gate, we get a Pearl Harbor.
Oh, my God.
Clayton Gaines.
First one of the day.
He hits a big boot on Trey in the corner. Then they both immediately start running the ropes with Trey coming out on top, and he sends Clayton to the outside and immediately dives out onto him.
Yeah, man, fuck Clayton Gaines.
Okay.
Just saying. Fuck Clayton Gaines,
I think you're just
right?
jealous.
Yeah. What's that, Andy?
Why does he have a Nintendo joystick on his shirt or whatever? What the fuck? You said that was supposed to be Ohio?
So it's the state. Okay, so let's explain.
I still
this.
can't picture it because even after you said it, I was like,
So it's literally the state of Ohio, and then there's two arms flexing on it, which I know you might not flex very often, Evil Andy.
Shots fired.
But Clayton does.
wait, were there?
He's gonna hit you with a
I
nut
didn't
slap
catch
if you're
that.
not
I
careful.
didn't catch that those were arms. It just
Yeah,
looked
those
like
were
a
arms
badly
like coming out. Well, thankfully you
made
have another
joystick.
chance to see his gear.
Yeah,
Badly bigger
Which
again.
Yeah, which is he does have he has a really nice crop top that he wore to the ring.
He
That
had
I thought
100 gimmicks. He came out with 100 gimmicks.
Well,
like,
and then-
enough, DDP. Come on.
He's biting on Levi Everett because he's got the Amish beard thing going too. It's like, dude, grow your mustache. You're not Amish. What's that all about?
What?
did he have a full
Clayton
beard?
Gaines? What are you talking
no,
about?
He's got a chin strap beard. He doesn't have a mustache.
Oh, but his
Oh,
beard
it's
is
barely a thing.
It's
it's
like a Captain
trash
Ahab
compared
kinda
to
thing.
anything that's that's
Yeah,
Levi.
he's
The facial hair is tight, just like the rest of his body. Okay.
Oh, is that what
Jeez,
that is?
all right,
Yeah. Okay. Come on, keep up with these body types.
All right, tell us more, John.
So back in the ring, Ref Sean.
What does that mean?
Back in the ring, Ref Sean tells Clayton to get him out of the ropes. And Clayton responds, "I'm trying to, man, but he keeps pushing me away."
I don't understand why it's his responsibility anyway.
Well, he put him there.
Yeah,
so it's his
but
responsibility to get him
I
out.
don't like it. I don't like it. Every ref's like, well, you put him there. I'm like, no, he's there. That's his fault. You know what I mean? If I end up dead in a ditch on the way home tonight, that's gonna be my fault one way or the other.
But
So-
if I end up dead in a ditch, it's because you flipped the car, and now it's your responsibility to help get me out of that ditch.
So
that's-
Sean's going to be standing there going, get him out of the ditch, get him out of the ditch. And I'm like,
The
Sean,
po-
I'm trying. He's dead,
The
okay?
police officer's going to show up, and he's like, "Get him out of the ditch because you put him there."
Oh, is that how that
And so
works?
that's what this is.
Well, it's great to apply some real-life logic to that.
So eventually, luckily, Clayton does get him out of the corner, and he hits him with a German suplex to get him out of the corner.
He does. I mean, hey, he got him out. And he's like, oop, got him out for you. Then we get on the outside. These guys are going to, fucking brawl around on the outside. But Clayton Gaines was a giant pussy because he was scared of a giant man, right?
Yeah, PB Smooth was out there.
That's right. I don't think, did you mention that when we were setting up the match, that PB Smooth was with Trey Lamar?
Yeah,
I wasn't listening.
begging you to listen.
It's a giant fault of mine. I don't listen very well. But yeah, that happened. I mean, tell me what happened here with, what happened next here? I'm sorry.
So after they interact and Gaines is just too scared of PB Smooth, they get back in the ring. Clayton goes for a jumping body splash, but Trey gets his knees up, and then he sends it back to the outside for another diving spot. Then he goes to the outside, hits a diving springboard for 2. Then a swinging power slam from Gaines for 2. Trey hits a roll-through Pele kick. Mm-hmm. That's not what it says. Oh, it says Pele.
It says Pele. Yeah.
I didn't know how to spell the real Pele.
Fair enough.
So he hits it was sweet looking. Like they both rolled through, and then Trey got up, and then Pele kicked Clayton, and then sends him to the outside and leaps out onto him.
Yeah. Now, Jamie, we've seen Clayton Gaines use this shake that he has quite a few times, right?
Yeah, it's pre-workout, I believe it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Do you remember one time where he was having that he was facing Austin, what was it, Ace Austin, and Ace Austin like drank like it, and he's like, he put 2 scoops in there or something like that. It was like, that was pretty funny. Yeah, he's used this many, many times. It's interesting to me, he must have used it on the first show. Did he? Because otherwise, how the fuck does the fans know what that is? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he definitely used it at the first show.
okay, that makes sense, because he went to load up with it, and PB Smooth was like, nah, man, and just grabbed it, right? And what did you call it, John?
I called it a protein shake.
Protein
That is
shake.
fucking great, right? I mean,
He's a bro. He's a total bro.
Kind of dig that, I mean, that's the same thing Matt Riddle would drink, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Just saying, How'd this all shake out here, John?
So Clayton tries to get his protein shake, but PB, being so tall, gets on the apron, grabs it out of his hands, and it's with a distraction, Trey is able to roll him up with a small package for the victory.
Now, Andy, did you see Clayton Gaines' reaction to all this? As he was kind of like walking around the ring afterwards.
Very sheepish, very frightened looking, and confused. So yeah, maybe he did need that Weight Gain 2000 drink or whatever that was.
Beefcake, right? It's almost as if all of his shit talking was for nothing. Maybe next time, prove yourself, then talk the shit.
I think the problem is he didn't have his buddy in his corner.
Who's his buddy?
His buddy is Ace
Austin.
Austin now.
Oh yeah.
The match was originally supposed to be
A tag
40
team.
Acres against
Oh.
Ace Austin and Clayton Gaines.
Okay.
That was set up at the first show.
Oh.
a series of shenanigans.
Okay. Well, Ace Austin's big time, man. He's on TV now. He don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about Ohio.
Which is, it's funny, at the end of the first show, they talk about, at the next show we're going to have this tag match. He literally yelled out, "Unless I have TV," which he actually has TV tapings out of Mexico for Impact.
Well, that's not shitty at all of him to do, but that's fine. All right. Well, what'd you guys think of this, Andy? What'd you think of this match? What do you think of these guys? Tell me all about it.
Don't really like Clayton Gaines.
Oh, he's a big jerk, right?
Yeah, and I think he was trying a little too hard with the whole heel spiel because coming to a Columbus, Ohio town and saying stuff about OSU, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't care about sports like OSU football, so that's not my thing. But it's just like, you pick something else, dude. We hate you as you are. You don't have to attack the local sports.
You hear that, John?
To make us hate you.
We hate you as you are.
It's like, there's plenty to hate. It's like, I could watch that guy or Jersey Shores, same thing. It's like,
He's not quite as tan as the Jersey Shore guys.
Yeah, but he's that whole, I don't know.
He skips tan. It's just GA, not GTA. It's just gym and laundry, not gym tan laundry.
GTL.
He's a good. I'll give him that. He's a good heel, but he doesn't. Don't attack the local sports and tell chubby women they smell like urine. That's just.
She was not chubby, by the way. But,
who was it? I didn't even see who he was saying.
It was some pretty girl that was in the crowd. It's just
all the
like
women in our row are pretty. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
There was a lot of great people in the crowd.
yeah.
Oh
Man.
yeah. Oh, there were tons of awesome
Yeah.
people.
Do you guys want to get into the old lady at this point? or-
absolutely.
Jamie, tell us about the old lady.
There was, who is my hero of the show, the quintessential little old lady watching wrestling. While she was on the other side of the ring, to me, it was dead across from me. Had a perfect view of her for the whole event. Just, you can picture the classic old lady. Gray to blue hair, purple sweater, sitting there with her hands on her lap and her giant purse, which was a never-ending thing of snacks. Like, at one point, she whipped out, like, the biggest pack of Twizzlers one can possibly buy.
She ate them all too, and then had
the whole
more
show.
shit.
Yeah.
She ate so much food.
She did not give a fuck. She's a gangster. She brought food in, and nobody would say anything
Nope.
to her.
No.
It was
And she would sit there,
Awesome.
and I respect so much, cross-armed and just looking at the match.
Pursed
like,
lips. I didn't even know what was going on in the match, and I looked over, and she's pissed, and I'm like, oh, that lady's pissed. Oh, she doesn't like this. This is awesome.
You know, when somebody will yell, I think it's from like Gladiator, "Are you entertained?" That bitch was not entertained.
No.
She was letting you know it.
No.
She'd have given it a thumbs down, but she had her arms folded too tight.
Not only was she not entertained, she wasn't sports entertained until later on, and then she got real sports entertained. But,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was even a spot later on where somebody ended up sitting right next to her, and she didn't give a fuck. She just kept eating her Twizzlers or whatever,
She
got
no-sold that shit.
her phone out and started tweeting or whatever the fuck,
I want to know what she was checking out on her phone that was like, nope, can't deal with this match.
She was checking the tracking on her yarn delivery. That's what she was looking for. It's like,
Pictures
oh.
of her grandkids at Christmas.
Probably a live video of her cat at home.
Reading the spoilers of Young and the Restless for this week.
But you could tell. You did not have to even watch the match. You could tell exactly what was going on by watching her. She's like a wrestling barometer or
Yeah,
something.
the litmus test for wrestling,
Just watch the lady, and you can already tell what's going on in the match.
Well, I fucking love that. That was great. So Trey Lamar won this match, and then we move on to a match I was really looking forward to. We got a lot more experience with, one of these folks. We'll talk about here in a second, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think about all this. Set it up for me, John. What was this match?
This one was for the guys. Since Dean's not here, I gotta fill in.
Yeah, that's just a joke, people. Don't get angry.
It was a special attraction women's match. It was Heidi Katrina with some championship belt going against our pal, Nikki Victory.
Our pal. Yeah, Nikki Victory from NWF. If you listen to our show, you know we're very familiar with her. She comes from NWF along with Alexis Montez and Lord Crew and various others. And I was really excited for her because, I don't know that she's worked a super indie type show before. You know what I mean? So, and I was, like I said, just really interested to see how she would do. What did you, start with Andy, what did you think of these two ladies and how do you think Nikki and Heidi did?
Liked her gimmick, Nikki Victory, very much playing a victim in this. I don't know if that's what she does because I'm not familiar with her other work. She doesn't look old enough to buy beer. and she's doesn't necessarily look like a small woman, but next to Heidi, she looked like a toddler almost. It was, and just playing it up. I mean, she was getting thrown around the ring and screaming and just really good. And then when she'd get her licks in, I liked it when she did the drop kick to the shin and then drop kick to the other shin. I'm like, she's chopping her down to size. This is fucking awesome. This is great. And I was like, she's using what she's got, because clearly the other lady was much larger. Both women were absolutely gorgeous, though. I want to throw that in there.
Okay, well, good to know. We'll let her know that you said that, you know. So, what'd you think of this, Jamie? What'd you think of Nikki and this ladies' match here?
I was reminded of Samantha Heights. First time I ever seen Samantha Heights was in a match with Jeremiah. And
Jeremiah?
Yeah. And what my takeaway from it is, same way with Nikki, is she can take a beating. Mm-hmm. She knows how to look like someone who just got completely destroyed. Every move, every time, it looked like it actually hurt, and it was devastating. And it was great. And that's exactly what it was supposed to be, and that's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah, you know, Nikki is kind of more like your girl next door type, you know, and Heidi Katrina is certainly not that at all. She looks like an underwear model that would beat the fuck out of you and has guns bigger than all four of us put together. If all four of us put our guns together, hers would be twice the size still, and she'd still punch us all in the face, you know, which I'd be okay with, you know. But, man, people are, fucking shooting in and out of this parking lot like they got shit going on. It's Sunday. What are we doing, you know?
I don't know, it's the second time I've seen this truck with all those, like, bleachers.
And then there's a Mercedes that's fucking getting the hell out of here. Anyway, well, nobody cares about that. But,
Well, the action was just as fast in this match. So Nikki immediately tries to lock up a few times, and Heidi just keeps chucking her off because she's more powerful and stronger than Nikki. But while Heidi was gloating about being so strong, Nikki schoolgirls her for a 2. And that doesn't work, so she immediately crucifix pins her for a 2 count, which also doesn't work. Then Heidi immediately just throws her out of the ring, or throws her off the ropes, and then hits a big drop kick.
That's one of her signature moves, is that big drop kick, man. One time I saw her kill another woman with it. I mean, like, pretty sure that person's dead. Is never going to wrestle again.
Her pinned tweet on her Twitter is her, like, hitting this massive drop kick where it looks like she just kicks through this girl's chest.
It might be the one I saw. I'm not sure. It was crazy. Heidi Katrina is like, she's a bully, you know? She's a big bully, and that's like, so we got this classic big man, little man match. Shout out to Dean, and that's kind of the story that we're telling here. So, you know, Jamie, you looking that up real quick?
I kind of want to see that.
It's really nice. So Heidi kind of rolls Nikki to the outside. I want to say she kicks her in the face really hard and then goes outside and starts clubbing her in the chest. And she tells everyone in the crowd, like, shh, quiet down. I'm going to, like,
that was cool.
knock the slap, like, I'm going to slap the crap out of her.
It was like she was going to do a chop, but then she just hit this, like, thudding blow on Nikki's chest, and Nikki's chest, like, became like a, like a speaker for the sound to come out of. I mean, it was like, oh my god, ouch, you know?
Yeah,
that looked like it hurt
through the whole building. You could hear it.
Yeah, it was
really
really
hurt real bad.
So the ref is counting to 10. Heidi gets back in. She's gloating. Nikki gets up on the apron at a 7 count, and she goes to, like, try and get back in, but then Heidi headbutts her. And then Nikki's, like, laying on the middle rope, and Heidi just gets on the second rope and hits a leg drop, bringing Nikki back into the ring. And after that, she puts her in a really painful-looking camel clutch, where she's, like, sitting on the mid-back and just pulling up as hard as she can.
So one of my favorite things about women wrestling is that women, you know, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but they tend to be a little more flexible than dudes. And so when they do, like, submissions and stuff, sometimes women can get in these positions that are just absolutely terrifyingly just flexible. Like, I can't remember who the wrestler, it might have been Madison Rayne, I'm not sure. One time I saw her in a match versus Awesome Kong, and Awesome Kong put her over her shoulders like she's going to do a burning hammer, and then had her feet touching around the outside. She was right, you know, like, that kind of shit looks incredible. And so we got, like, something, you know, not quite that ridiculous, but pretty ridiculous.
Similar. I mean, she was twerking, or not twerking.
You wish she was
Yeah,
twerking, John.
buddy.
Oh! I knew that was going to happen, John.
Spilled
God
it on my
damn it.
crotch.
Okay, well,
I guess I'm gonna have a beer crotch for the rest of the night.
okay, well,
It's fine. It's literally all in my
yeah,
leg.
all the napkins and stuff are in here. So
Sorry,
John
guys.
just spilled beer all over himself because which by the
I thought
way,
he was happy to see me.
we're just hanging out in the parking lot outside of this place. We're not driving, so everybody take it easy. So there's that.
So anyways, eventually Nikki kind of gets out of there, and she doesn't grab the rope, right? She just kind of gets
I don't
out.
remember.
But then she starts to then after the camel clutch, Heidi tries to pretty much break Nikki's fingers, and really starts working over her arm, leg drops it, stomps on it. Nikki eventually starts to make a slight comeback. She gets a double knee to Heidi's arm.
You're gonna break my arm? Break your arm, bitch!
That's right.
Like it.
And then she hits a really, sharp baby cutter
Yeah,
that
looked
looked
good.
painful.
Yeah, it looked painful for kind of both of them in a way.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Heidi then catches one of Nikki Victory's crossbodies.
That's Nikki's finisher is a really nice crossbody, classic crossbody.
And then she hits a power slam out of that crossbody. And then Heidi goes to the top rope and hits a leg drop for the win.
Yeah. So Andy, did you believe at any point that Nikki was going to win this match?
I had hopes, but it just didn't look like it. Like the difference in sizes, it just didn't seem like she had much of a chance. But
Did she make you believe though? Is what I'm
oh
saying.
yeah, like she sold it great. I mean, like just for the first couple of moments in the match when she'd try to lock up and just get tossed across the ring and bam hits the ground and looks like she's in pain. Like Jamie was saying, it's like she very convincing and very good at that whole shtick. It was great to watch. It was very impressive.
Jamie, how would you describe the level of, this is a hard sentence right here, mouthful, the level of fundamental soundness in Nikki's training? What would you think? Like, you've seen a ton of wrestling, man. You've seen a ton of women's wrestling. It's not always good. Sometimes it's real bad, and you can tell the person who trained them didn't give a fuck, or they just didn't take to the training very well. How'd you say Nikki's training just looks like she's well trained?
Absolutely it does. Because it goes back to what I said. If you can just make somebody look, she makes somebody look good in taking an ass whipping. That's half the battle. You can do as many offensive moves as you want and look cool doing them. But if I don't believe you're getting your ass kicked, what does it matter?
And she is kind of the reason why I love Nikki so much, and the reason why I'm so behind her as a wrestler, because I think that she is kind of the, one of these gems that you can't find anywhere. The real white meat babyface, the true white meat babyface. I think that she is that. So this worked out perfect. I think she did a hell of a job as far as that goes. And I mean, I was really impressed. I was really happy with her. We saw Selena Dean came with her too, and so we got to hang out with Selena Dean a little bit. That was fun. She was cracking up jokes with us and stuff, and I like her, and I hope she comes back too. So anyway, all right, John, tell us what happened next, because this was crazy what happened next.
Our next match was a golden opportunity scramble match, where the winner gets a title match later today at Unsanctioned Pro
Here in
8.
a little bit, yes.
So our first competitor was Lord Crew, going against Bradley Prescott IV, going against Atticus Kogar, going against the one they call Manders, against Alex Colon. Cologne?
This fucking guy's seen Alex Colon wrestle a million times. He's like, Alex Colon? I want to die.
Listen,
I'm going to call him Colon.
Listen, I was so worked up about getting Kogar right that I was just distracted.
You did a good job,
The whole way up here, I just kept calling him Atticus Cougar, and I was like, Andy's like, that's not right.
We used to have a joke at Rockstar when we saw Alex. We'd say, I smell Alex Cologne. Before he would come out. I don't know, it's pretty funny. But he had the red towel, came out to Tupac, he was fucking ready to go. But anyway, go ahead.
And our last competitor was the debuting for OWA, Tyler Matrix.
Tyler Matrix rules. Have you guys seen Tyler Matrix before?
I believe I've seen him somewhere, couldn't tell you where.
Man, he's real good. He's one of the top-notch, he's an OVW product, but, he's not there anymore, because fuck OW. But he, he's one of those guys that like was from there, but like really, really came out of his shell once he got to do other stuff. Him and Logan James are kind of top guys at IWA Mid-South right now. But you see them around all the time, and I can't believe that Tyler Matrix isn't on TV. It just doesn't it doesn't compute, because I mean, like, he is just as good as it gets, which you're like, your junior heavyweight style. But anyway, you guys, we're going to get in this match a little bit here, but I want to know from Andy, who were you impressed with most in this match, and who did you think was going to win?
Oh man, you kind of caught me off guard there.
You didn't know we were podcasting?
Huh? No.
Didn't know we were recording an episode.
I'm trying to recollect the match, but
you just back there watching Heidi Katrina kick somebody in the face over and over again.
We did watch it. She did drop kick the soul out of that ring.
Yeah, she really did.
Pretty awesome.
Do you need me to go to the competitors again?
Yeah, could you?
Oh my God!
Come here. How about I jump in here for a second?
Okay, yeah, and then maybe that'll jog his
I thought
memory.
Lord Crew was going to win this.
Okay.
But the person I walked away with more than anybody out of this is Atticus. That dude pulled out some stuff in this match I didn't expect to see out of him. And there's some spots later that I'm sure John's going to get to that,
Hopefully.
oh my God, in a million years I wouldn't think anybody should ever take, but they did. So
Pretty cool. So did you come up with anything? Or?
No, well, yeah, like my thoughts on the thing. Like we were talking about also, like Lord Crew's potential for winning the match, and I get caught up in thinking, okay, like if I'm the promoter, who do I want to push towards that direction? Who do I want to move up in the ranks? And I'm thinking that Lord Crew made sense because he's kind of making his presence known in UP and everything, and he's kind of up and coming, and he's got some popularity, and some people seem to like him and stuff like that. I thought someone else had also mentioned that Kogar had really done some interesting stuff in the match. I also noticed this. I thought he showed a lot of talent in the match, just a lot of general skill and selling everything, and just in general, I really liked what he was doing in it. But no, I mean, I other than suspecting maybe that Crew would win and then get the title shot, I really was just sitting back and kind of enjoying the match. So,
John, who do you think was going to win?
I thought that Bradley Prescott the fourth was going to win. PB Force, my dude.
He's your dude, right?
He's my dude.
There you go. Well,
who'd you think was going to win?
I thought Manders was going to win. That's what I thought. So.
Well, now we're going to have to find out.
The logic behind that was that I thought, of course, it would have to be an OWA guy that would win, because otherwise, what the fuck's the point of this? You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so, and who knows? I just figured there'd be some kind of like storyline that would be set up, which is what we got. So it made a lot of sense for me. And plus, Manders is one of those guys that, like, if I'm OWA, I want to put my stamp on that dude. I want that dude to be an OWA guy, right? He's getting popular all over the country, and he's a tremendous wrestler. And Jamie, you and I have seen him from baby Manders all the way up, He's one of those guys that we've seen, quite a bit. So I'm happy for him and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, tell us about the match, John.
So during the entrances, Atticus was not happy with how long it was taking Bradley to get into the ring. This is also after the lights randomly suddenly went out.
Yeah, that happened a couple times.
And Bray Wyatt didn't appear.
No.
So
Undertaker.
what's going on? Yeah, no, deathly man appeared.
Random AEW wrestler, because every other AEW wrestler has the lights out entrance, so we didn't know which one it would be.
So Atticus is yelling like, Bradley, just get in the effing ring. Stop taking so. Well, I didn't say effing because I don't think he cusses. He might. I don't know.
I don't know that much about him.
I don't know that much about him either. I just assume maybe. So he tells him to get in the ring. So Bradley's like, fine, I'll do it. And then Alex Colon, he grabs the mic and he demands that this match be under unsanctioned pro rules because it's for their title. Because OWA doesn't have a title, as he pointed out.
Now, it's kind of, I get what he's trying to do here, and I understand the point, but was it going to be, what other rules was it? It's a scramble. There's no DQ, there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? what's the difference between a scramble match at OWA and one at
I don't know. I thought it was going to be a six-pack challenge at first because all of four of the guys just went out to the apron and two guys just stood in the ring. I was like,
they did.
Is this a six-pack challenge match? Like, what's going on here?
And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but during the entrance, there were guys coming out with chairs, and Tyler Matrix was like, "We're bringing chairs? No one told me we were bringing chairs." And he was looking around like, and the next person would come out with a chair, and he's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Where's my chair? I didn't bring a chair."
Well, only the UP guys brought chairs.
Right.
Okay, there you go.
So, because they're hardcore.
Right. Okay. Well, my, logic hole aside, I get what they're doing here. It's basically OWA versus UP. Fuck everybody. Bah. That's what we got going on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't a six-person tag, as it appeared at the beginning.
We were like,
when
tag.
when they did it like a standoff. So Cologne wants Manders to start the match, and he really, it was a bad call on his part because Manders immediately shoulder blocks him so hard that it sends him to the outside. Then Atticus thinks that he's going to be able to do something, so he gets in and gets also shoulder blocked to the outside because Manders is a big dude.
He is.
But Crew is able to put up a fight, and he eventually kind of big boots him a couple times and gets him knocked away.
We can't, I don't see it in the notes here, so I just want to make sure that we point out that at a certain point in this match, I don't know when it was, but Lord Crew got destroyed and did the Kikutaro sell, where he just basically rolls into the ropes and is like head standing on his head in the ropes, which was fucking awesome. I was like, all right, I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think I had that because, honestly, the action started to just get real hot and heavy. And everybody was hitting spots, and I was like, I can't keep up with this, so I'm just going to write down spots that I remember.
Okay, put them on.
So, just quick bullet points here. We had Tyler Matrix hitting a leaping, spinning neckbreaker on Lord Crew. BP4 hit a Van Daminator with a case of Natty Seltzers on Atticus.
Guys, tell me, John, I don't care who it is, Andy, Jamie, tell me what happened to the case of beer after he kicked it. Did you guys catch this?
It went out into the crowd, and one it was the seltzer because he had a natty seltzer and he had the beer stayed in the ring. The seltzer went out of the ring. One of the fans grabs the seltzer.
And he's like, "It's mine now."
I guess he was going to drink it. I don't know if that came to fruition or not, but yeah, it kind of landed in the crowd, and then it was. But I think that he threw the beer at the guy to distract him, and then he attacked him. And then it went out into the ring, so it was out of the ring. And
it was a Van Daminator.
Yeah.
Remember when RVD would throw chairs at people's faces, and then he would kick the chair into their face?
Okay, he's got more monikers. I'm not real familiar with him. I was like, it's the Natty Daddy.
The Natty Daddy, Natty by nature.
I got you. Okay,
Listen,
so
if you
he's
need
got multiple monikers.
BP4 merch, let me know. I got it all.
Very good.
So the Coast to Coast is called it's a Van Terminator?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I didn't
Because I was like,
Van Terminator.
Jesus, I know I watched this match, but I don't remember any of these.
Yeah.
people.
Or no, the Van Daminator is when he does the rolling, thunder onto a chair, isn't it? Or is that
That's the Rolling
called
Thunder.
the Rolling Thunder.
Rolling Thunder, somersault, splash, or full-on senton. Van Daminator throws a chair up. Here, catch the chair.
And the
Other guy
Van
catches the
Terminator
chair,
is from side to
kick.
coast to coast.
Van
Okay,
Terminator puts the guy in the other corner.
Yeah.
Trio Woe in the other corner.
Well, I was asking about the Van Terminator,
Right.
which is a little later, but that was,
yeah.
we'll get to that here in a second. Go ahead.
So Crew hits a massive German suplex on the Manders.
Big boy suplex.
Yeah. Cologne hits a diving double knees to Steve Manders. Is it Steve Manders?
It's just one called Manders. He's just called Manders.
I just remember hearing him as Steve Manders.
He used to be. It's his real name, yeah.
So he hits a diving double knee on the Manders on a chair. Crew hits a real flippy orange Fanta onto Tyler Matrix.
Yeah, fuck you, Tyler Matrix. Take that.
BP4 hits Crew with a case of Natty on the back, which then puts him into a tree of woe. He puts the Natty in Crew's face, and then hits the Coast to Coast Van Terminator.
What happened to this beer, Jamie?
This was great. The 12-pack was right in front of the guy that's in the Trio Woe in the corner.
Crew, yeah.
And when he makes the leap, lands the drop kick, baseball slide, fall, and that beer comes shooting out of the 12-pack. You couldn't have asked for it to happen any
It was
better.
perfect.
It was
and,
perfect.
And not only that, but the one, like, some of it shot out, and then some of it just slowly
Just
rolled out,
through
you know?
the ring. It was everywhere.
Like all
It
the way
went
to us.
every direction, you know? And a beer rolled all the way over to us, and that was all the way across the ring.
It's
That was
one of
cool.
those things he's going to try again. It will never work that good again.
That was pretty cool. All right, how'd this all shake out here, John?
And then, do you guys have any other spots that you remember that I didn't have notes on?
Well, one quick thing I do want to point out is that little old lady loved this match.
Oh, yeah, this is when she was sitting next to BP Ford to give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
Right, didn't care about him, but she was all about guys jumping around, chairs, the chaos of it all. She was into it.
Jamie, how could you tell she liked it? Like, what did she do to let you know? What kind of things did she do with her body?
Arms uncrossed. Like there was actual hand movement away from the laugh. Toes were tapping. Everything was happening.
She was patting and tapping.
Oh,
you
she
know?
was all about it.
That's in my family. One time, my mom was telling. We were at some concert or something, and my mom was like, you know, me and my sister asked my mom, like, "Did you enjoy the show?" And she's like, "I didn't really like it," or she said, "No, I really liked it," or something like that. And we were like, "Well, how? We didn't see you moving around. We were all jamming." She goes, "I was patting, I was tapping like that." So in my family, from now on, that's just like a joke. So this lady was fucking patting and tapping. She was just off the charts.
John was trying to keep track of 6 people. I was keeping track of 7 during this match. Because that lady was all about it, and I was just transfixed on, I want to see what little old lady likes.
Like, and plus, what else is she gonna pull out of that purse? You never know.
Cheetos. Giant bag of Cheetos came out. She was having a grand old time.
What was the finish, John?
So Cougar brought up this chair that he was
Cougar,
trying.
uh-huh.
Cougar, yeah, Cougar. I knew it was going to happen.
No,
Cougar.
And who did he do that to? Because you're gonna have problems here. You got Kogar and Cologne in the same move
I
set
know.
here.
So
can do it,
Cougar,
John. I believe
Cougar
you.
was trying to get somebody tied up in it. It might have been Manders. I don't know. But either way, somehow he got laid up on the chair, which was turned kind of upside down. So the 4 legs were pointing up instead of down. And so he's in all 4 of them, and Alex Cologne comes off the top rope with a double stomp to the back, and, you know, it's done. You know that he's going to pick up this victory. But immediately, the one they call Manders, he runs in, chucks Alex Cologne outside of the ring, and steals the victory without even having to use his finisher.
That's right. So he advances to the UP8 title match. We'll be covering later today. And that's a shoot, by the way. We are going to release this episode in between the 2 shows, and then we're going to release our next episode after the last show, or final show, as we're going to make fun of later. But that's a real thing. So we're doing that. This was a lot of fun. Andy, what'd you think about this match?
Great match. A lot of stuff going on, and the old lady liked it, so that that says it all.
I mean, she is the barometer, like you said.
Exactly.
She's going to tell you how much moisture's in the air, so or wrestling, whatever you want to call it.
Wherever the moisture might be. So.
What's the basement flooded? You think?
Tapping, so
She's patting and tapping. That means the basement's flooded over there.
Could
Jesus.
be.
Anyway, so Jamie, what'd you think about all this?
Loved it. Loved a good chaos match. This is exactly what this was. Not enough can be said about how brutal that stomp was at the end across
it
that
was
chair.
bad. It was
There
nasty
was no give.
Oh.
The only thing they gave was his body just crashing into the supports on those legs that he was laid across.
It's almost as if the tubes of the legs kind of bent slightly and then launched him out of it. Because he kind of like, Cologne hit him, and then he kind of went into the chair and then kind of popped out of it because it was either he was going through the chair legs, or he was going to get popped out of it, or they were just going to all disintegrate into dust, one or the other. So, John, what do you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought
You had
it was
fun?
good.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the main event, so I was a little... Because I was excited that it was going to be the main event, so I didn't have to take notes on it. And I was like, damn it.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm taking notes on the next show, so you'll be good. You can drink it up. So, anyway, after that, we had single intermission. All right. And what'd you guys do during single intermission? Anything?
I just kind of hung around and was waiting for some activities to happen, some some intermission activities.
Oh, yeah? Well, this is a great opportunity to talk about this carny-ass bullshit that was going on. So when we were walking in, this dude, I mean, they were just pimping this 50-50 raffle bullshit. And I'm just sitting there going, well, fuck this fucking stupid-ass 50. Because to me, 50-50 raffle, we see that at, not on the Super Indies. We don't see that very often, right? So, let's say that. But, and it's also one of those things where, like, it's just funny because, like, a lot of times you put in $5 and maybe if you win, you get your $5 back. You know what I mean? Like, and not a lot of people played it. But a lot of people played it tonight, including someone who's in this car, Raffle Andy. What happened here?
Indeed. Well, first I want to point out all the derision because I was mocked severely for having participated. And being a true gamer, I took the 6 tickets for $5 instead of 1 for $1.
Yeah,
I would also
deal.
like to point out that the ticket that won was the 6th ticket.
Oh, my God.
So, and I do believe that multiple times I stated I'm winning that motherfucker.
You did.
I'm winning that motherfucker. And lo and behold, I did. But the first person, it had to be the last ticket on the roll. Because it ended all 8s. And it's like, and nobody claimed the fucking prize. And I'm like, motherfucker. You buy these tickets, be here to get your fucking prize. But they went ahead to the next number, and like everything in life, I need 2 chances. And, lo and behold, the second fucking ticket was my last ticket. And so for the 50-50 raffle for $5, it says here I got $100 in gift cards, but in fact it's $125 technically, and $70 cash money, which pays for my tickets. And I just wanted to read off. One is an actual card for Hofbrauhaus for $25. Then there's something called Skilla, which is a gift card for $25 for a jewelry place, which probably
you love jewelry,
right? Then there is Evolved Tattoos, Piercings, and Jewelry, $50 gift.
You can buy some jewelry at the other place and then have it put in your belly button at the other place.
Nope, nipples are nothing, man.
Oh, there you go.
Like I said, if I get some
sure.
jewels, and then the last is for a Rendezvous Hair Salon gift certificate for $25. So
they could probably trim up your beard a little bit.
Yeah, maybe I could do that, or maybe I could get some beard jewelry and have it put into my.
Hey, you said it was nipples or nothing.
Well, but I mean for the hair salon and then the Skilla.
Just walk into the hair salon and say nipples or nothing.
Nipples or nothing, motherfuckers.
By the way, you've come up with a couple good phrases tonight. The heel spiel was tremendous, and now nipples are nothing.
Nipples
I like it.
are nothing.
That joke might stick around.
We didn't even bring up Chesadoo, so I've been throwing him out there. These have been some pearls. But
I like it.
Yeah.
Might be able to get you a pearl necklace at the jewelry place.
Hey, whoa.
Hard to rinse off.
Whoa. They're hard to rinse off. Oh, my God.
I mean, like if you eat chicken wings over them.
What does that even
I meant
mean?
an actual pearl. Wait a minute.
All right. Well, that was single intermission. After that, we had ourselves another match. Tom, what was the next match?
The next match was Jake something. He sure is something. Versus Gary J. I don't know.
Yeah, Gary fucking J, man. We think Gary J, man. He's crazy, right?
I mean, it's the second time seeing him. He's fine.
He's fine. I'm going to kill John. John's an asshole. He's fine. Gary J, man. Are you kidding? I love Gary J.
He put his heart and soul, which he's ginger, so I don't know if he has a soul.
That's true.
But he put his heart on the line in this match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, us gingers. I'm only
gingers.
I'm a quarter ginger.
You have brown eyebrows.
See these freckles? Quarter ginger.
I have freckles too. That doesn't mean I'm ginger.
Are you
My
sure?
dog has freckles.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I can look at all my body hair and tell you I'm
guess what?
1,000% not ginger.
My sister's ginger. My mom's ginger. My grandma was ginger. I am a quarter ginger, my friend. So it is what it is. And, that's why I was cheering for Gary J. Because he's stiff robo ginger, and he's going to fuck up Jake something. And what'd you guys think of this? And tell me a little bit about your experience. Jamie, you got any experience with these guys?
I've seen Jake something actually randomly over the years, just once or twice here and there. So it seems like I go like 6 months and I see him again. This guy is completely different than the first time I ever saw him. Was like at a New Ohio wrestling show probably 3 years ago.
Nice.
And doesn't even look the same. He was no beard, not long hair, just another, for lack of a term, another meathead in the ring looking guy,
Dude in trunks, huh?
Dude getting his swole on, if you will, that kind of look.
Well, he could control that swole.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Gary J, no idea who this guy was, but I did enjoy seeing him throw like as many chops as he could possibly throw, because they were excellent.
Yeah, that dude is, he hits people hard. What'd you think of these two guys, Andy?
Big dude kind of reminded me of Bruiser Brody a little bit, maybe. I don't know, something like that. It seemed like a male version of the ladies' match. It's like the one guy was just so much more powerful than the other guy, and Gary J, I was rooting for him because he was getting his ass beat a lot. So it seemed, and then I did also want to point out. One gentleman had a more professional taping job, and Gary J's taping job was absolute shit. But a couple of times I pointed out that the only thing that saved him was the tape. So
Well, tape's important, you know.
And then for some reason they both unraveled the tape at the end of the match, which I didn't get. I thought there was going to be like maybe some garroting or something, but it didn't end up happening.
Well,
so
I tell you what, when a guy walks out with no wrist tape and he loses, I know why he lost.
No
you know what I
wrist
mean? You got, come on, man. You got to balance it out. You got to, especially like when you get a dude like Titus O'Neil who doesn't wear wrist tape and he's just wearing trunks and he just looks naked. He's like, put wrist tape on him, he won't look naked. You know?
It's weird, but yeah, it's totally true.
I don't get it. But anyway, John, tell us all about this match here.
So Gary J immediately starts out the match by diving onto Jake something 4 times.
And guess who loved this?
Grandma loved it.
Man, Grandma wrestler, stuck granny. She loved it, man.
She thought it was the greatest shit ever.
She patted and tapped so much, I thought she was going to break her knee. You know, she was patting and tapping so hard.
That replacement was not going to be worth it. You know?
it's going to be rusty by morning.
So Gary J tries to do a crossbody off the top rope, but Jake something just runs it at him full force and like pretty much just body splashes him before he can get off the top.
Do you guys like how John says body splash? What do you guys think of that?
It's nice.
Say it again, John.
Say it slower.
Body splash.
There it is.
Come on, you don't say it like that. It's
almost
weird.
like Axe Body Splash.
Yeah, it sounds like a flavor of that or something, you know, or a scent.
What am I supposed to say?
A splash.
Oh, but it's with his body.
Well, what else is he doing it with? His finger? Finger splash, you know? Actually.
Start with your finger and then
Oh, buddy.
work your way in.
To the whole body.
Gently, but
You're such a gentleman.
well,
So,
I think they should call the scent on the backsplash, you know, but then you're thinking of your kitchen and redoing your kitchen and stuff. So.
Jake takes control with a lot of power moves. He eventually goes for a body slam. And then he goes to body slam him, but he just throws him across the ring,
my
and
God.
he nearly just slides out.
He almost threw him out of the ring.
Yeah.
You know, there was also a Billy Kidman spot in this where he tried to, power bomb Gary J. And Gary J. was like, Hurricanrana, motherfucker. Just think of that.
When he went to go do the power bomb to Jay, what appeared to be to the outside, crowd bought it. We all thought he was about to murder that man. I mean, I totally bought it like, holy shit, he's going to really power bomb him to the outside. Thank God he didn't, because I think it would have been the end of Gary J.
And that's when Gary J started hitting some of these forearms, right, John?
Yeah, well, you were starting to call the finish, you know, a little go.
Oh, was I?
Yeah,
Shit.
you were going
Okay,
home
sorry.
a little early. So Jay fights back with a spinning face buster from the top rope. He hits a Hurricanrana. Then he starts knocking Jake down one knee at a time, and then eventually starts hitting some running forearms, but they're only good for a 2 count. Jay clotheslines the back of Jay's neck.
He's dead.
It looks like he was going to take it off.
Oh, my God.
But he is able to make a comeback, and he hits a double stomp to the back of Jake's neck.
Jay and Jake. Maybe we should go with Gary and Jake. What do you think?
I don't know, whatever. Something hits a massive running spear to the corner.
Jesus.
I literally was like, holy shit.
That
'Cause
move.
It was like a rubber band. Like he hit it and just immediately shot back because he hit him so hard.
That's a move we see a lot of times bigger dudes hit in a shitty fashion. The only person I ever see that hits it that isn't like that, you know, where it's like amazing like that, or the only person I see on TV is what I'm trying to say that hits it and it's like, man, that looks awesome, is like Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? Brock Lesnar hits that move, it's fucking awesome, you know, but like on the indies, usually that's just kind of like a transition move to get from one corner to the other or something like that. But Jake something uses it as like a signature fucking move that might get him a win. You know, I love that. That's awesome.
Like he literally, he hit it and bounced halfway back across the ring because he hit it with such force.
This is tremendous.
Then he immediately hits a like a huge sit-out power bomb. But the thing is that Gary J was on the mat, and he literally just picks him up from the mat and then just destroys him. But Gary J kicks out, and this is where Jake Something goes for a second power bomb, and Gary J Hurricane Ranas him to the outside. But he ends up on the apron, and they fight back and forth for a little bit, and then Jake Something hits a huge tombstone pile driver, pretty much, to the apron, rolls him back in, and gets the victory.
Jamie, what'd you think about this finish?
Loved it. You know, like I said, there's all the chops and stuff between Andy, like Andy mentioned, evil Andy mentioned. You want the guy getting his ass whooped to power through and figure out a way to overcome, and even though you know it's not going to happen, it was still fun to watch, all unfold.
Okay. Andy, evil Andy, any comments back there, or are you just counting your money?
No, I'm done counting my money. I lost it.
You knew exactly how much.
We haven't addressed something, and I don't want to bring it up out of turn, but the mystery person.
We're getting there.
Yeah,
We're getting there. Take it easy.
Okay.
He's excited.
Yeah, but that was what I thought it was interesting, and then there was some commentary about what happened after all that business. But as far as the match went, yeah, I mean, it was for me, it was a lot like a guy version of the kind of smaller fella that's a little bit outmatched by a much larger fella.
Give me the can. Yeah, thank you, I appreciate it.
But yeah, it was. Sorry,
John. I had to take a bottle out of John's hand the other day. He's just going with the bottle. What the fuck are you doing? Stop it! Anyway, it's hilarious. All right, so then afterwards we did have some shenanigans, right? John,
Yes.
tell us what happened here.
A masked man. We had no idea who it was. He came out and started kicking both the guys in the head, and then he immediately just bowed out and went back to the back, never revealing himself.
He looked familiar somehow, but I don't know who it is. I can't confirm who it is, I guess,
Watch the hands. He had very flat, wedge-shaped hands.
Okay.
Wow,
I'm not even joking. They were very flat, very wedge-shaped, and very straight.
What's going on?
Well, he
in this
was wearing
parking lot?
black shoes, black pants, black shirt, and a black tie, I believe.
Yes, he had a tie.
And then one of those, for lack of a term, a terrorist
A ski mask.
looking ski mask.
Wow.
Or
I mean, his build was not unlike Danhausen's, but I don't recall I think Danhausen got shorter hands. I don't know, so I don't know who it was.
I think he's about 6 inches taller than Danhausen, probably too. But
Well, I don't know, man. I didn't really get a good measure on his height.
Yeah, I didn't get my measuring stick out.
It was Cole.
it was Cole Radrick.
Cole
Yeah,
Radrick.
definitely.
I'll have to see his hands.
Sounds like something
If I see
Cole
his hands,
Radrick.
I'll recognize it.
Okay.
We're gonna go back into the next show, and Andy's gonna be evil Andy's gonna go around to everyone. Let me see your hands.
It's your
Can I
hands,
see your
motherfucker.
hands?
That's right. Do you own a ski mask? Are you Cole Radrick? Anyway, all right. So that happened, and we don't know who the fuck that was. So we have our suspicions. We have them. It's probably Cole, but we'll see what happens. But then we had another match. Oh my god! So this is when I went outside and I got us some of these slider things. Oh my god!
They were delicious.
They were awesome. I can't remember the name of the place. It's called like Slider Heaven something. I don't know. But it's so fucking cold outside. The poor guy was like in his car and saw me stand there. Was like, oh, and like ran up and like made him real quick. And I was like, oh, you poor bastard. Hope you make some money today. Here's a tip. So they were pretty good. So I missed a little bit of this. But this next match, who was in it, John?
It was AJ Gray
Yeah.
versus O'Shea Edwards.
All damn day, O'Shea. I am not calling him Big Bad Kaiju. There's only one Big Bad, and that's Brandon Taggart. So,
Because he's too tall.
hey, O'Shea Edwards, get your own shit! All right, so there's that. Now, AJ Gray. Yes, go ahead.
And the O'Shea Edwards, his theme song was also very familiar to me.
Yeah, but who cares, I mean, there's this guy down at NWF that's a piece of crap that uses that same song. I don't know.
So me and Selena had a little fun banter, like, oh, wow, you really roided up over tonight.
Yeah, we're not putting that guy over. He can suck it. So, anyway. All right, so tell us a little bit about the match. By the way, both these guys, big dudes, right? AJ Gray, AJ Gray's like Black Manders, kind of. I mean? He's like the same size as Manders, but he's a black dude, and then O'Shea Edwards is gigantic dude, like huge guy. So there's a lot of power moves and stuff like that. This match was incredibly hard hitting. and it's crazy because we just saw a match with Gary J in it, and I was like, this is even more hard-hitting than that last Gary J match, which is strange. Usually his is the most hard-hitting match on any card, anywhere.
Yeah, well, it wasn't.
Right. Tell me about it, John.
So they lock up immediately and go corner to corner until the ref breaks them up, and Gray immediately takes out Edwards with a knee, or takes out Edwards' knees, and then hits a running senton to Edwards in the corner.
Backsplash.
Yeah, a backsplash. Like, it was literally like ass to face, body to body.
Oh, okay.
Like back to body, back to chest, ass to face.
I'm confused.
I am too. Edward hits a fall-away slam and then gets a stalling suplex where he holds him for at least 15 to 20 seconds, upside down.
Really? Oh my God, I missed that. That's fucking great, man. By the way, this match, I will get to it here in a second, but there was like a superplex in this match, and it was like a huge high spot. You know, and like a superplex should be a huge high spot. It shouldn't be Randy Orton going up, oh, he's doing the superplex again. There he goes, out of nowhere doing it. Cool. They built to it. This was good. I really liked it. Go ahead, John. It's a secret. Don't tell anybody.
Jamie, have you ever had, like, been upside down and have the blood rush to your head?
Do I look like I leave my feet very often?
Maybe you do inversion therapy. We don't know. You know.
No.
I'm just like thinking, like, I've been like hanging upside down, like maybe it's like off the couch when I was a kid, or like off like monkey bars, and just the sensation of having like all the blood rush to your head, like that hurts. Like, it's not a good feeling.
It hurts. Wow.
Well, because then you get like
pain.
you get like a head rush.
Yeah, it's more uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, but then, like,
Andy, you do the inversion therapy?
During my astronaut training, yeah, we did that a lot.
You guys get...
I also had not necessarily experienced that since childhood. So yeah,
Okay.
but,
I haven't done it recently.
yeah, not a comfortable feeling to, especially for 15 seconds. That would be a bit much.
Okay. What else happened here, John?
So we'll do a quick run through the rest of the match. They trade some sumo punches until AJ hits a massive clothesline to Edwards. AJ gets him on his shoulders, just dumps him face first onto the mat, and then hits a pinning German suplex, but it's only good for 2. Edwards grabs him for a power slam, runs him into 2 turnbuckles before finally hitting it. But again, it's also only for 2.
Huge move.
And then we go to probably the biggest move of the match, probably of the night, of the afternoon. AJ hits a massive superplex that literally shifts the ring.
That ring wasn't moving for anything else, man. It moved for that, though. It was like, hey, I'm trying to get out of the way. The ring was trying to get out of the way of that move.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
Then AJ hits 2 huge clotheslines and then a side driver.
I don't know what you call
for
this
the
thing.
victory.
It's crazy. It was like a Michinoku driver off to the side, you know?
Supernova back in ECW used to call it the Kryptonite Crunch.
There you go. See? I'm glad Jamie's here.
That's why we have him
knows.
here.
See, you say I know moves? Jamie's been watching way longer than I
Yeah.
have, man. He knows all the moves. So, anyway, well, that was just spectacular. AJ Gray gets the win. He's a tremendous wrestler. I, really hope to see more from him. I love that dude. What'd you guys think of this, Andy?
Again, the superplex, and they must have had at least 500 pounds of hurt human in the ring, and they were the only ones that moved the ring, because I watched that. I always watch to see which of these fuckers is moving the ring. They even had this ring on rubber bumpers, like rather than just drop the metal right on the floor, it had like thick rubber mats, and it moved them off the mats. The apron flew out as soon as that superplex hit. The apron blew out, and you could tell the whole ring shifted because the metal and the rubber were no longer touching where they had been. It was completely off center. So, yeah, that was amazing, and lots of power moves in the match. It was a very very entertaining match, and the crowd in general seemed to like it. So, yeah, thought it was good stuff.
Awesome. Jamie, any thoughts?
As great as the superplex was, my favorite part of the match was the massive clothesline. Nothing better than a clothesline that's done. It just looks like you're taking somebody's head off, and the person getting it just goes down like a sack of potatoes.
Tremendous.
Great.
All right, well, John, our next match was Myron Reed versus Eli Isom. I don't know how to say it. It's Isom, right?
Something like that.
Okay, this is hard to call, all right, because this was the match in particular that had a million moves I've never seen before. Right. And every move that I hadn't seen before was countered by another move I hadn't seen before. And that was the entire match. This was the highest work rate match of the night. This was maybe the highest work rate match that I've seen in a while. You know what I mean? This was intense. I don't even know what to say about it other than say, you need to watch this. If you're a wrestling fan, you definitely want to watch this match. I believe this show will be up on IWTV at some point. Definitely want to check that out. This was insane. John, you got any thoughts on this one? Because I don't even know what to say about it, except these guys both can go like you wouldn't fucking believe, and they just crushed it.
Yeah, this one was really hard to take notes on because, like you were saying, like it was reverse after reverse after reverse after reverse. But it was all like really fast-paced, like good action. That I agree. Like it'd be a good one to go check out for sure.
Now we are moving a little bit quick here because we gotta wrap this up because we only got a little bit before the next show starts and we got a few things we gotta take care of between there. So you do have the finish written in the notes, which I like this better than the actual word. You have the second dope Spanish fly, which is better than a second rope Spanish fly, followed by a springboard 450 to give Myron the win. Both these guys fucking this was probably my favorite match of the first show here tonight. You guys dig it?
Totally agree. Best
awesome,
match of the show.
I loved it. I'm a big Myron Reed fan.
So after that, we had the final match. What? So they didn't call this the main event. They called it the final match. But that's a lie, because there's more matches. Like wrestling isn't over, like, for the world after this. You know what I mean? There's more matches. So, but they called it the final match. And the final match was between Josh Briggs of Evolve fame versus P.B. Smooth. Two giant motherfuckers who had a giant motherfucker match. This was slobber knocker, as people might call it. Jamie, you love two big guys beating the shit out of each other. Did this live up to the hype?
It is exactly the match you think it would be. Lots of clothesline and shoulder blocks, and especially the big giant boot to the face. Plenty of that, which I'm sure was different for both guys because they're used to delivering this to somebody that's 6 inches shorter. I'm sure.
Like 100 pounds less, weight too. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, this was great.
Andy, what'd you think?
I liked it. I would point out that they did not move the ring.
Yeah.
For as big as those two dudes are, I didn't see it happen.
Do you know why? They were hitting each other, not the ring.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah, I could see that. When you put enough beef in the ring, usually it moves. So yeah, but still, awesome match.
John, tell us about this one. Kind of run through it real quick here so we can get this wrapped up.
So there was a lot of big guys shoulder tackles, shoulder. Briggs, both big guys are kind of like shoulder blocking each other on the outside. Briggs eventually outsmarts PB Smooth and gets inside and just boots PB in the face. But then he tries to kind of run and dive out to him, but then PB slam dunks him on the top rope. So it's all good.
2 points.
Yeah, it was good for 2.
And a foul.
Yeah. There was a spot where they were both kind of scrapping, and Briggs throws PB's arm back, and we get a ref bump. And after the ref finally awakes, Josh looks at him, and he's like, fucking disqualify him. He's the one that hit you, man. And the ref wouldn't do it.
You like that. You were like, he said fucking. I like that. I don't know why. That was pretty cool.
So there's just a lot of big moves, hard hitting. And then we eventually get to the finish because, final matches, we don't typically give you too much notes, because we want you to watch the show.
Yeah, we want you to watch this.
So Josh Briggs hits a choke bomb for the victory.
Yeah, and gets the pin. And poor PB Smooth, loses the match. But that's okay. Later we're going to boo the shit out of him because he's a heel in UP, which is pretty funny. Andy, what'd you think of the match? Tell us all about your thoughts, or the show, I mean, and what'd you think of UWA, OWA, what's it called again?
OWA.
Fight for Freedom or something?
That's my first OWA show, aside from the crossovers from UP. Didn't know who any of the folks were, so it was good to get to see a lot of new people. I did recognize Natty Daddy, didn't know all the other monikers, but other than that, I don't think I knew any of the other folks. But yeah, I thought it was great. I like to see the two promotions come together and cross over, or maybe help, support one another. So Yeah, I thought it was a great show, and I'm stoked that we've got another show yet to come. And it was, someone else had mentioned, it would have been good enough by itself. If that was the only show we got to see today, I would still been satisfied. But like I said, we got another one coming here.
Jamie, tell me all about it.
Love the show. Love the venue. How they pulled this out of their ass at the last minute, considering a week ago they were supposed to be somebody else, is pretty amazing. They really went out of their way to make sure it still happened. Best match was that Myron match, but gotta say, the thing I'm going to remember the most, that little old lady. I love that little old lady. She was the best.
That's pretty great. John, what'd you think? Your debut at OWA.
I thought it was really good. I was excited that we were able to eventually make it up here, because originally we were just coming for the UP because you thought you had to work, and so when you were able to get off, I was very excited that we got to come up here, support our girl Nikki, as she kind of branches out to different independent companies. Overall, I was really impressed. Can't wait to see the next one.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I'm really happy we came. This is one of those days where it's just like, this is a pro wrestling day. UP Day is always a pro wrestling day, but now it's like double. And double is better, no matter what it is. So, pretty awesome. I'm really happy with it. It was a great time. So, Jamie, where can we follow you on Twitter?
You can find me at Jamie Coy, JamieCoy, WJ.
Andy? Evil Andy? Raffle Andy?
I think it's just at Andy Housen.
Okay, fair enough. John, where are you at?
JHat05.
That's right. You can follow me at Drusifer Tweets on Twitter. You can follow the show at the Road Home FW on Twitter and Instagram. We're on there. We're posting stuff. You see the stuff? We're posting it and the things,
Yeah, I see it.
And what it is it's really just like, it's just tons of pictures of me and John working out. That's what it is. It's tons of them, like workout photos, just proving how buff we are. So check that out, because that's really what everybody wants to see. So,
That's not what's on there.
well, that's not what's on. Yeah, that's what everybody does on Instagram, though, right?
Yeah, not us, though.
What do you mean?
We're different.
Oh, we are? Okay.
I'm different. Yeah, I'm different.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Sayonara.
Bye.